the best, like what I love in this reasoning is that what if there is no game? You still, this is the best way to live a life.
Yes.
To find something that you love to do, that you find is meaningful, even though it might not be, and spend your whole life doing it.
What is the meaning of life? Can we find it through reasoning and argumentation? If you are interested in this question, you will love this episode. My guest Mark Kagach and I, we both really spend a lot of time on trying to build arguments on what is the meaning of life. And today we met and we let our solutions that we came up with clash against each other. I just re-listened to the whole episode and I really love this discussion. In my opinion, this is the best episode of the Rational Optimization podcast I have so far. At first, we both presented our meanings, the solutions for the meaning of life we came up with through argumentation, and then we discussed each other's arguments. We tried to find holes, poke holes into it, and in the process of this, we kind of found out that they are pretty similar. Only the way we plan to implement it was a little bit different. And then for the last, I don't know, 1.5 hours or something, we discussed about the implementation, or maybe 1 hour, I don't know. We discussed about how to act on this. What is the best way to follow this meaning? How can you make the most impact into this direction we argued for? And yeah, you can really see that Mark, he has a background in professional debating, so he went to like tournaments and stuff, and yeah, you can really see that he's able to put his arguments, his words, his thoughts into really clear, understandable ways. And yeah, I enjoyed this immensely. I highly recommend watching or listening to this, guys. Enjoy.
But let's do the meaning of
Let's
life.
do the meaning of life. Okay. You want to start with yours, or should I start with
Start
mine?
with yours. I'm gonna try to do debunking, and then I can do mine.
Okay. So I believe that the only objectively meaningful thing that you can do is to search for objective meaning. And this is because I believe it is possible that objective meaning exists. So, like, it's probably really unlikely, but there is this possibility that something is objectively better than something else. That there is like an action that is better than another action. That there is, how I define meaning is so meaning is a goal that is for some reason superior to another goal. So something that is meaningful, like a goal can be meaningful. If you say something is meaningful, then you say it's better than other goals. Like my meaning is this and this.
Better for some reason.
This is meaning in general. If you say objective meaning, then you say there is an argument that makes it like in general better.
But I don't really understand like what does objective means. Like, are we talking about like mathematical level of objectiveness? Or are we talking because if you believe like the argument is, you go for subjectiveness. So, but okay, but what are your arguments for why you think there is probably there is some chance that there is an objective meaning?
Because I don't have an argument why it's impossible. That's actually it. And
okay, wait, let me just.
The thing is, if there is,
how do you define objective meaning?
Objective meaning is a goal that is objectively superior to other goals. So it's like,
well, let's just circle. We need to lose the word objective.
Okay. Is anything that would allow you to make judgments of something being better or worse in general? So if I say this action is better or this thing you do is better, like it is better. It's not I think that it's better, but it is like
okay. So you kind of claims that truth.
No, not truth. I don't say more true. I say better. Better. Something can be false, but not better or worse. It can be like neutral, but true or false.
So okay, so how I would think about this, right? So Give me an example of something being better than something else.
I think the only thing that I found that is better than something else is searching for something that is better than something else, because all I found till now, like all I questioned till now,
Yes.
was like in the grand scheme didn't matter. Like in the grand scheme, like all I questioned was like meaningless. Like in the end, it was like it's meaningless. Like there's no, I didn't find the meaning yet. So,
Yes.
but I say it's possible to find meaning. So the only meaningful thing you can do if you
Yes.
don't know the meaning, but it's possible that meaning exists, is to search for it.
Mhm.
So I think the only meaningful thing you can do is to search.
Okay, so you would say that like killing a person and giving them a food was the same, is like not better or worse. They're both pretty much equal in meaninglessness. Like, there is no good or bad. There's meaningful and meaningless, right?
Meaningful and meaningless would is
good or bad.
is good or bad. Yeah,
Mhm,
it is pretty much the same.
So they're both
So
they're both bad because they're both meaningless.
no. If they are meaningless, they are neither good nor bad. Meaning is the thing that gives an action the attribute good or bad. Meaning is the thing, like objective meaning is this thing that from which we can derive good or bad. Like if there's meaning, then there's good or bad. If there's no meaning, there's no good or bad. Then there's everything is the same.
Okay.
So if there's no meaning, it makes no difference if
Mhm.
you kill the person or give the person food.
Yeah. So I don't want to like go into the semantics because I think I'm not sure if I can give a good rebuttals to that also, like the meanings of the
You
words.
can also
meaning,
give your
right. And I would be quite bad without a big laptop to look up the definitions. But I would think about this.
Those are my definitions, by the way, not like some general. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was working on that document, right? So I think so. Say I'm gonna like describe what I find probably the most meaningful thing to do, and then kind of I think debunks it's just like the other perspective. So I like because I just will literally tell you the essay. So the metaphor is like this: you are basically put in the middle of a pitch of like some football pitch, or I don't know, some pitch, and you're in the stadium, right? And so you're put in the middle, and you see all those thousands of people cheering, like cheering for you. So you see, and you don't see any other players, right? And so you're put in this. You just wake up randomly. You're in the middle of a football of a stadium where thousands of people are cheering up, but you don't see anyone else around you. You don't know what's the game, right? So this is, I think, how humanity finds itself, right? We are pretty much. So I will explain every part of this weird metaphor, but we are thrown into the pitch, and what I'm claiming is that through all the information we know at this moment, it seems that humanity is rare. Well, actually, with all the information we know at the moment, humanity is rare, right? We didn't see aliens. We don't. Yeah. So how do I define humanity? I define humanity as multicellular, alive beings, right? So, but in that definition, you have an octopus, right? So an octopus. Like humanity is not that rare when we look at that definition, because you can see octopus, you can see dogs, you can see whatever, right? But then what's the difference between an octopus and a human, right? So
wait, stop. You say life is rare in the universe,
yes,
but not on the earth.
So yes, I would specifically claim that human life is a very rare thing, and humanity in itself is even more rarer. And from that, we will move on further to like what that rareness means.
So it's life is rare, but humans are even the rare thing in life.
Yes. Okay. So specifically, right? We go for just something being alive is very rare if you look around with all the information we know at the moment. This is a very important thing at the end, right? Then you look at multicellular life; it's even more rare, right? I'm just like. Multicellular life is even more rare. But if then you go and you look at conscious life, what is the difference between an octopus and you, right? You're a bit more you're conscious, right? But so I think we can give you even consciousness. Let's say like everyone is like, what the fuck is consciousness, right? Or this is a good rebuttal because we don't know what is consciousness. Even taking aside the consciousness argument, which is I'll just give it to you because, it still works. I'm saying that humans are extremely rare because they have a unique ability to create knowledge. So the difference between you and an octopus is that, so first of all, knowledge is a real physical thing. So let's say DNA is a knowledge. So let's say...
I read this today.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So DNA is a knowledge. So it's a real physical thing, right? So let's say a bird, when it's trying to figure out how to, dominate in the environment, a difference between it dominating and non-dominating is the DNA. And it creates DNA, or we can use it as simply knowledge because it's knowledge about how to dominate in the environment through random mutations. So some birds would randomly start having a third wing, or that would be way smaller, but you get the point. Evolution theory would randomly choose those small details, right? And then they'll see the ones which will work, and the ones which will work go to reproduce over many iterations. That's why how the evolution works. So this is how natural evolution creates knowledge. And this is why, let's say, we have very different types of animals, because some of them mutated in a very small way, and over many, many millions of years, they fucked so much that we have a completely different genes or knowledge. So this is how natural evolution creates knowledge. This is how all live beings create knowledge. So this is not a relatively unique thing. Octopus does it, bird does it. What is distinguishing?
It's kind of unique. We don't know how unique it is. If we look, it's not unique on our world, but in general,
yeah,
it's more unique than no life.
It is more unique than not. Yes, yes. And probably all life, this is how it emerges. It's probably because we don't see any other life. But okay, so this is relatively not super unique. But humans are unique in the way they create knowledge. We may be gotten here through the evolution way, but how we create knowledge at the moment is through creative thinking and specifically creating explanations, hypotheses, and then testing them. So this is, I would not go into quoting David Deutsch, basically this guy, but he specifically shows that humans have a unique way of creating actual knowledge, like an actual physical power in the universe. Because let's say, instead of random mutations, like fish and octopus, we create a we can have hypotheses which make sense. We don't need to test that, that if you eat 1 kilo of grass, if you're eel and you eat 1 kilo of grass, you'll be better. We don't need to test that random assumption because there is no good explanation behind it, right? So this is a unique ability which have humans. So, would you agree with this?
Yes, so that let me try to explain it. So that humans, knowledge is through evolution creates itself by trial and error, but humans have a special ability to create knowledge in a different, better way that is much faster, where we don't have to die if we have
First of all, we don't need to fuck forever to find some ideas.
We can let our ideas die and get new ones and come up in a different way than evolution. Humans can find knowledge in a different way, in a better way than faster way than evolution.
Okay,
I agree.
So this already creates a uniqueness of humans. So if you agree with that, you agree that alive multicellular beings which have a unique way which we don't see by any other mean in the universe is at least a rare thing with all the info we know. Okay?
Yes.
Okay.
I agree. Yeah.
Okay, humans are rare. Agreed. Now,
extremely rare.
Yeah. Okay. So we're halfway there. So if humans are rare, rareness does not mean valuable, right? So Hitler was a rare dude, but he's probably not valuable, right? So what creates value?
Value, I think it's the same. It's the same as I said with good or bad. It's if there's something meaningful, it can make something good or bad. But if there's no meaning, there's no good or bad, and therefore also no valuable and non-valuable, because everything is the same.
Yeah. Okay. So I can see this answer also, because I think you're going for objective value-ness. With my definition for now, I'm not sure there is such a thing as objective valuable things. Mm-hmm. What I go for, value things are subjective. So something is valuable in the eyes of the observer. So this bottle is meaningfully valuable to me, but it might not be valuable to you, right? So I specifically assign value to it. And the same happens with humanity. So this is a purely subjective emotion. So I just feel like that humanity is a valuable thing, right? So I feel that humanity has the capability of being good or bad by whatever I define this. Again, not sure there is an objective, like good or bad. So I assign value to it as my personal emotion. Would you say that humanity is valuable through your own subjective perspective?
The thing is, yeah.
Let me put it like this. What is valuable? I specifically define it as being worthy of preservation.
Yeah. Okay. I think, yeah, like, of course, it's better that I think it's better that human keeps it. No. If there's better... It's hard. Like
I'm specifically going for your subjective.
Yeah. In my subjective, of course, I want humans to keep existing. Yeah.
Yes. So you think they're worthy of preservation?
Yes, in my subjective. That doesn't mean that I believe that it matters.
Objectively is good.
That it really matters. And the thing is that I try. Like my goal is
to go for objectiveness.
To become as rational,
as rational as possible.
To have my argument as rational as possible.
Yes.
And this means like disconnected from like, oh, I feel like it.
Yes. But just let's.
Yeah, but
okay.
I agree that.
So at the moment, we agreed with two things. That humanity, I'm not sure of how slowly we are actually doing this. Humanity is rare by all the information we have now, and we both feel like it's valuable. It's worthy of preservation. We both subjectively feel like this.
Yeah, but subjectively feel like this doesn't mean that I agree that. Like,
it's objectively valuable. I agree. Yeah. I'm not claiming
you say
this.
Like I subjectively, like if you say it like this, I subjectively agree that it's
subjectively valuable.
That it's worthy of preservation.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean that I think that that there is an argument for why humans are worthy of preservation.
Yes. Yes. I understand. We're specifically now talking about your emotion. Okay, so when you find something rare and valuable, I would treat it as, I would see humanity more as like having a rare, valuable opportunity, right? So, because there is not many alive things in the universe, there's not many alive things which can create such unique knowledge as humans do. So, literally a superpower. And so what do you do when you have something rare and valuable? You try to preserve it, right? You try to not fuck up the opportunity.
Yeah.
Right? So coming back to the metaphor with a stadium, right? So the cheering crowd of thousands of people is kind of saying to you that, hey, there is an opportunity here. Like you are being presented with a great opportunity. I can see those thousands of crowds as, I don't know, maybe all the possible species that were never born or like never made or never created. It's just like all the dead things in the universe,
everything that's not alive,
all the things which are not alive and screaming to you guys, this is a rare thing you have out here, is all this crowd cheering up for you. Okay,
yeah.
Okay, so we agree that we have at least a rare, maybe with our subjective definition, a valuable opportunity.
Yes.
Okay, so what do you do with rare opportunities? With rare, maybe valuable opportunities? Simple as that. You try not to fuck it up.
Yeah, you try not. Yeah, okay. I don't know if I can go with you because the valuable part.
Yes.
Yeah, but from the rare part. But I don't know if rare implies valuable. Like
no, rare does not mean valuable
okay.
Specifically. There's a different word.
So we have.
Hitler is rare.
Yeah.
He's not valuable. He's not worthy of preservation.
Okay, but. Okay, keep going with your argument.
Okay. So now we have, at least we agreed that there is some rare opportunity, which for some of us, subjectively speaking, would be worthy of preservation.
Yeah.
Right. So what do you do with such opportunity?
You try to preserve it.
You try not to fuck it up.
Yeah, not to destroy it.
Ideally, fulfill the whole potential of the opportunity. So coming back to our stadium metaphor. So, okay, we agree that we have a rare opportunity out here, but then we stand up and we find ourselves was like, we're not sure what the fuck the pitch is. Like, we're not sure what the game is. Like, first of all, we're not sure what the game is, what the rules are, how we determine who is the winner and who is the loser. And at the end of the day, we're literally not sure if there is even a game to play, or we are just thrown randomly in the nowhere for no reason, and just we're here to like maybe have a good time.
This is exactly what you just said, is the difference between objective meaning and no meaning. If there is a game that you can win, then there's subjective meaning. If there's just no game and just everything random, then there's no meaning. Yeah.
Amazing. We agree on that.
Yeah.
So now tell me, do you believe that humanity has a chance of being has existential crisis which can lead to a full extinction of humanity?
Yes.
Amazing. If you believe,
against this.
right?
Yeah.
So if you believe that there is a chance that we can all extinct, and you believe that we are not, so we don't have enough information to know, is there a game? What are the rules, right? I say that we are like so blind that we can never derive the rules of the game or is presence of it at all from what we know at the moment. So like if you look, like this the Fabric of Reality, the second chapter of the Fabric of Reality is like my favorite, where is it? Okay, a bit started. But this is, let me like even get this pretty. There are a few pretty. So these 2 pages.
For the people just listening to this, we also have a video. You can go to YouTube or to on Spotify. I also have the video, so both is possible.
Yeah. So these 2 pages specifically outline the reasoning behind why parallel universes are very likely to exist, right?
Yeah.
So this was published maybe 2011. I'm not sure 100%, right? So when you take something like this, you have a borderline scientific knowledge that there are probably parallel universes.
It's pretty likely, actually. I think
was his explanation?
Like his explanation, I was like, okay, yeah.
Yes. His explanation just fucking makes sense. Yes. So now let's think about this. Some guy wrote this 12 years ago, which completely changes the way we perceive reality. Like, absolutely.
He has like a proof in this book that parallel universes exist.
Yes.
So for everybody that didn't get it.
So if not to go too deep into explanations, basically he looked at what happens when you kind of look at the shadows of certain figures. And turns out that something changes the shadows, but we cannot detect what it is. And he makes like, okay, so if we cannot detect this, but it behaves the same way as like
normal particles.
Normal particles. It's probably parallel particles, which kind of change the way shadows are made. So something changes this. We cannot see it. We cannot detect it. But something does change it. Probably parallel universes. So this is a completely different way to see the world. Like ridiculously completely. This is like not 180. Well, actually, it cannot be worse than 180. This is 180. Right? This is 180. Right? Okay. So I am saying that we are so blind and we know so little that trying to find meaning of life in the today's amount of knowledge we have is a ridiculous claim. You are literally can see no longer than 30 centimeters from your eyes, and you are trying to claim that all the pitch there is for 200 meters has a specific reason, and you know the rules why. If you are claiming that, I don't know, you're either a liar or a fool.
Holy fuck. I think I start to get your argument. A second. I think you don't even really disagree with my argument, because what I say is I'm on this pitch. I don't know the rules, and that's why my task is to find out the rules.
Yes.
Like this is exactly what my meaning is. Like, like
you want to find for the objective rules.
Like, exactly. I want to find out if there are rules at all. I want to find out if there is a winner or loser in the end, or if I'm just random and
I do agree with that.
This is exactly my meaning. Like I can use with your metaphor perfectly. But the thing you say is that we're in this moment. We're so.
It's like literally ridiculous. It's like borderline ridiculous.
Searching for it because we are so like we're not smart enough, not far enough as humanity, and that's why we should preserve humanity. Try to make it grow. Try to not let it go extinct. Try to develop new methods of gaining knowledge. and then maybe in 100 years you will be able, or in 1000 years you will be able to switch from your goal to my goal and start to find out the rules of the game.
Yes, absolutely. What I'm like, literally the whole, like, you can summarize that fucking argument in like one sentence. Like, hey guys, I'm not sure what's happening. Let's just gather some intel. Let's just, like, we know it's something rare happening out here, but I'm really not sure. So let's just gather some intel, make sure we don't fuck up what we have here.
Gather some intel?
Intel, like, gather some information. Just find out what's happening.
And don't die in the meantime.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Probably you have something rare. So, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, your meaning is to make humans not die.
So, yes. So, specifically, what I'm saying here is that we should. So I think we have not only rare but valuable, because I subjectively believe that humans are valuable, because I'm just a human and I like humans, right? So but besides that, I believe that we have a rare opportunity and we should not try to fuck it up, right? And we just should see how it can go, right? And then try to collect more information and find out, is there a game? What are the rules? Who is the winner? Who's the loser? Or how Elon Musk likes to put it. And I actually, after writing the essay, I'm like, oh, that's the point of what he was saying. Try to understand what is the question, the answer to which is the universe, right?
Okay, maybe I have to write an essay as well to understand this, but okay, try to find the question to which the answer is the universe.
Yes, because probably, maybe, right? This is maybe to some level extent, you're kind of assuming that someone asked a question, that someone maybe can be God in whatever way you define it. But yeah, there might have been a prompt which someone asked, and the output was a universe.
Yeah.
And they made it for something, right? To maybe simulate something, maybe something was useful.
Might, like, you wake up on the stadium, there might be a game. There might be a winner or loser.
Yeah. There might have been someone who was like, what if we throw that guy in the middle of nowhere and see how it happens?
Yeah, and he wins if he does this.
But yeah, what the fuck would you do? Yeah. Just maybe it's fun.
Yeah, okay. I think I agree with your way of thinking. I don't... Like, no, I think actually we're not so far apart. I think it's mainly just the way of, like, what kind of actions we derive from this. Because, like,
what kind of actions would you derive from this reasoning?
Like,
first of all, can I get some of your water?
Yeah, of course. Take.
Okay.
You wake up on the stadium, and I, like... The only thing that is maybe different between my reasoning and yours is that, are you trying to, let's say you preserve humanity for like 80 years and then you die.
Or how much?
Like 80 years. And then you die. And then because of your help, like, humanity reaches something. Was this like a meaningful life? Because you are dead. Like, it's pretty likely that, like, it lights out.
Yeah, it is lights out. You don't realize when you die because, like, you don't feel.
Yeah, but maybe there's an afterlife.
Okay.
0.001. This is this 1% thing.
Yeah. You can make any claim like this and say, oh, but there is 0.001%, so let's do it.
No, I specifically say that there is like a. I don't say there's like this specific afterlife. I say there's like some possible thing that is not lights out. Like,
yeah, okay, sure.
And
I mean, you should navigate life in probabilities.
Yeah, there's like the possibility that it's not lights out.
But move on.
This is something I'm searching. This would be like a reason to have. This would be like a game. This would be like there's a winner and there's a loser. Maybe there's also not lights out and it's like reincarnation and it doesn't matter what you did in this life, but it doesn't matter right now. So, do you believe that if your lights are out, that you made an impact, that this was a meaningful life?
Okay, so if I preserved humanity, and I gave it the tools to maybe go and find out, is there a game or there isn't? I found this to be a meaningful life. I'm not claiming that it would be an objectively meaningful life, But I would personally, from all the information I know at the moment, all the information that's available to me, I would claim this is a subjectively meaningful life.
So you basically gave up. No, wait. So because I think we're really close. Like the way you explained your argument, I 100% agree. You know, the only thing that I maybe don't agree is that you say, like we're in the same situation and we have the same end goal. Like we wake up in the stadium and our end goal is to find out if there's a game or not.
Okay.
For both of us the same.
Yes.
My approach is to just immediately start searching for the game. Your approach is to try to survive for long enough till you have an opportunity to find it out.
I would say not specifically survive, right? So
make humanity flourish enough.
Exactly. So give the tools and the opportunity for humanity to go deeper and more and find out. Because like, I don't know, it's like when you are...
So you have an extra claim that says it's not possible to find the meaning now.
Yes. I do believe that claiming that you have found the objective meaning with all the information we run around is ridiculous. Because let's think about this. 50 years ago is not that long ago, right? 50 years is like nothing. But if some philosopher is like saying, oh yeah, I found out the meaning of life, you need to understand nearly everything that happens in the universe to have an objective. So you have to collect nearly all the information there is to make an objective claim, right? So I think they can definitely say they would claim that they have objective one. I think they've probably just found their own subjective. But to claim that you have made you found an objective meaning of life, you probably need all the information there is to know. You need to collect more, you need all the information actually.
True, I agree. That's
because there is the 0.01% of information which changes completely everything.
Yeah.
Your whole and I want to specifically outline that's a very small amount of information can completely change how you perceive the world. So when we look at, I think it was Copernicus.
Yeah.
So when you look and compare Newton explanation of how the planets move and Einstein's one, so the way they explain what the things around us is completely different. Einstein has a thing called space-time, where it says basically that time is a fourth dimension, which actually bends and like can be shifted. And Newton says there is just something, I'm not sure. And like time is probably just a straight thing, I'm not sure, right? The difference between those two theories is that in Newton's, there is like a 0.001 degree change in a planet position. Like an Einstein has a 0.01 degree better predictions of how the planets move. And that small change of predictions, because it turned out to be right,
everything, yeah,
completely changes the explanation of the universe. So if you don't have all the atoms in the universe as we know it, maybe parallel, right? If you don't have specific, like precise knowledge about every atom in the universe, or maybe there is less atom, like how do you know there are atoms? Like how do you know there are no more atoms within atoms? Or like, you know, it goes forever, right? Until you have information for each one of them, you cannot claim,
Yeah, I agree. Bro, in my, like...
The podcast has ended.
No,
we have to close it up.
No, we still have to discuss about the action that is the best to take.
No, we talk. I meant like the whole podcast.
Okay, the whole podcast.
Yeah.
This was rational optimization.
Yes, okay. And this is where we end.
Okay, so what I wanted to say is that when you have No, stop. The only thing I wanted to say is that actually in my note I have this note that I search for meaning, and in this note there's, from this derives that I have to, like, if you say I want to find objective meaning, it basically means I want to understand everything, like literally everything.
Yeah.
I want to understand everything.
Yeah.
There's no thing, if you understand one thing, if you don't understand one thing, probably
you cannot
everything
claim
else, like
objectively.
you have to have
all the knowledge.
The theory of everything.
Yes.
Like you have to understand,
and specifically, you can understand everything that is understood by humans.
Yeah.
Because like just understanding something can take nearly infinite amount of facts under the umbrella, right? So like you just need to understand several theories, the several most leading theories about what we know right now as humans, and you can have the knowledge about nearly infinite amount of facts.
Yes. So for the people listening, I think the explanation, correct me if I'm wrong,
Yeah.
is that you don't have to, for example, with the planets, you don't have to know exactly where which planet is at which time. You just need to have like the theories, the formulas, and then you can calculate every position of every planet at every time if you have the positions before.
Yeah.
So you don't need to memorize all the facts. You just need to memorize the theory, and then you can derive the facts from theory.
And you don't need even to like memorizing the formula doesn't give you the knowledge or the explanation behind the understanding of reality. So if you memorize the formula, it's just a thing that can help you figure out where specifically will be planet in that specific variables. But having the understanding of why the formula is what gives you the understanding of reality.
Okay, so you have to. The goal is to understand the goal is to understand everything.
Is to
basically.
is to have an explanation for why everything is everything.
Okay. Yeah. And the difference between us is that I try to do this now, and you say, let's flourish a little bit more, and then we have a much better chance.
Let's make sure we don't die out of from AGI and probably
nuclear war or stuff.
Yeah. So, and then I'll give the opportunity for my future, for people in the future, so they have all the tools and everything they need to like go and find out more about the life. But I think in our generation we have a relatively high chance of just not ever dying out. I think. So I'm like, you still can be part of the ship which finds out the meaning of life.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I think I pretty strongly agree. One thing that is like maybe a little bit against it is like this chance that it was in front of your nose all the time, and that you just like the actual goal that we both have. Like we woke up on this field, and the actual goal is to find out the rules of the game.
Yeah, if there is
a game.
Yes.
This is the actual goal, and you put something in between. You put this, we have to survive in between. And I put just first principle, it's only this thing.
Yes.
The risk about putting something in between can be that over time, like you are so focused on like letting humans flourish that you just don't see on the tip of your nose,
the answer is actually now we actually all have nearly no, but to have the answer you need to understand everything there is, which is a relatively high bar. But
do you think that this, like, are you sure about this?
If you claim for objective meaning, then I would assume so, because I'm not even trying to find an objective one. Like, it's like I know how flawed humans are, and I take it quite seriously that we're very flawed, and I'm just trying to make the less dumb claim I can. Like it's probably still is dumb, and like objective is a very high bar. If you go for objective, whatever way you define this, probably all the
Okay.
And I would agree. People can definitely mistaken what they want. Like they can forget. Oh, like wait, guys, we're here to understand the nature of reality, and not to increase the dopamine levels of all of ours. People do that, and for my specifically flourishing of humanity means we allow each human to fulfill their own potential, to fulfill their opportunity they were given to them, and this would usually mean like to. I'm not sure what like specifically flourishing of humanity would mean, but probably just trying to fulfill their potential.
Okay, this is the part, I think we can merge our meanings in a way, because I think basically we both have the same meanings. Actually, the thing is, we both have as an underlying goal to find objective meaning, if it exists. Find out if so this is the deepest level goal.
Yes,
there is nothing below that. Yes. This is the only so the argument I presented in the beginning for why we would search for this, it was not so beautiful with like the nice metaphor in the stadium where you wake up and don't know. No, I will use this metaphor now more often. But basically this argument that I brought, we both believe in it. It's like this is the
You probably don't know what the fuck is happening, right?
Yeah, exactly. We don't know what's happening, and that's why we should try to find out.
Yes.
This is
Yes.
basically it.
Yes.
This is basically it, and this is the most deepest, the most deepest level.
Yeah, I would also, because like I was searching maybe for the objective meaning for many years. I think I was just like, yeah, I guess like that's a bit ridiculous thing to try to do in my position. So I looked at my emotion, and it was specifically, I remember like reading about, there is a 12% chance that humanity can die in this century. Turned out they used a very shitty methodology. They just asked like 1,000 people and like thousands.
This is the way to research
Existential scientists and said, "Oh, what do you think, guys?" Like people are awful at predicting future. Like, well, how would you?
But bro, they take the average. It's not so awful, bro. If you have a crowd, and the crowd has to guess.
I know.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
We did it with our TOK teachers.
For the people listening, if you have a crowd and they have, for example, guess the weight of like a cow or something, or something random.
The number of windows in Boston.
Yeah, exactly. Then the whole crowd, like if you take like one random person from the crowd, it will probably be really far off. But if you take the average of the crowd, it's surprisingly close to what it really is. Like really surprising,
yes.
Really surprisingly close. And the same could be true for the future researchers. If there are a lot of researchers and they're all assigning a probability that humanity goes extinct, and they're all like kind of experts, and they're all like relatively independent, this is the important thing. That can't, if they all talk to each other and try to come up with a number, it's probably wrong. But if you listen to each of them by themselves and then get the average, it's possible that it's not so bad.
Okay, right. So let's say we even agree with that and say, oh, it's a relatively meaningful number. Well, 12%. It was just an absolutely emotional.
So 12% that humanity dies in the next century.
In this century, yes. So dies out specifically would mean, let's say there can be like 50 people, but if they cannot have the tools to recreate the civilization we are at right now, that's probably like a human extinction. Because eventually, like we cannot go and explore the nature of reality with 50 people, probably. So, where were we?
No, the thing I was...
So it was specifically the emotional reaction. And then I was more thinking about this, and I came to kind of this, metaphor with the stadium. But starting with, it was a very emotional reaction of like, saving humanity and not dying out is super meaningful for me. Like it's super subjectively meaningful. And then I kind of was just thinking of this more, and think you can present it as objectively.
I think it's objectively meaningful, actually. Like, the argument I brought for why it's objectively meaningful to search for objective meaning, from this you can derive your argument. Because if it's objectively meaningful to search for objective meaning, and you have to add the argument that in this moment it's pretty damn hard to find objective meaning, we have to grow a lot more as humanity, then...
We have to know to know all the knowledge. We have to understand all the...
For sure, you have to preserve humanity to make it, to even have the possibility to find objective meaning. So it's objectively meaningful to preserve humanity. So,
I don't like claiming objectiveness. So for person, I would just believe it's super subjective. But you go for that word, and that's fine, because we still agree on the same thing.
I go for this word. Yeah, I go for this word because I believe that there's not a flaw in this reasoning, and because I like when people see like, oh damn, this is a pretty hard claim that you make, that this is objectively meaningful, then you get like harder responses and like people, and I think this is good. Then people try to debunk you, and you're still, if it still holds up, then it maybe is actually objectively meaningful. Like maybe not, but maybe it is. And I didn't find a flaw in this argument yet. So maybe the only flaw is that I, as a human that can't know everything, claim something objective. So
that's how I would think about this.
You're still in the frame.
Oh right, sorry. No, fix it. Where were we? Yes. So let's say you want to preserve. So okay, we both now agree that you want probably objectively to preserve.
No. the base, we also agree on this. But on the base, we agree that we want to find out the rules of the game.
Yeah,
if there's a game.
Right now, what is the step we agree on doing right now? In the moment.
This is the question we have to talk about, because we have the same base now.
Yes.
The same base. And like what till date, what followed for me from this base was just to search for it and to try to find out what the base is. And from you, the thing that for you followed from this base is to try to preserve humanity or try to make human flourishing. So
give the tools for humanity to find out, to understand the nature of reality, and make sure we don't fuck up our opportunity. We don't go extinct.
Yeah. Okay, so our goal is to find out the rules of the game. What is the most impactful thing you can do? This is the question. Now it's prioritization.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Now it becomes what is the most impactful thing to do, because we need to find out what is the most impactful action I can do to make sure that humans don't extinct, and to make sure that they have the tools to understand the nature of reality.
No. The goal is to find. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But you already put something in there that wasn't there before.
How would you?
No, you just 100% bottom level. Our goal is to find out if there's a game, and if yes, what are the rules?
Yes.
And that's it.
Yes.
And now, what is the most impactful thing I can do to achieve this? And you say the most impactful thing to achieve this is to help human flourishing and don't make humans go extinct the next time.
Yes.
It's not an axiom that we have to make humans extinct. The axiom is only this.
I don't understand. Yes. The axiom is only the fact that we should try to
find out if
more
there's a game.
information. Yes. Okay.
And from this derives that we should preserve humanity and that we should help human flourishing. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So we agree on that, right? What would be?
But it's not an axiom. It's derived. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. What would be the next step to do if we agree on this?
Another thing that follows from this base layer, that is also not an axiom, but that follows from this, is that you should search for the goal directly. The thing you use to debunk it is that in this moment it's super unlikely.
You're trying to search for I don't know.
I try to understand something and I'm just an ant and I can't understand the whole world.
You're ant in the jungle and you're you're ant in the Amazon
rainforest.
Yeah. I don't know how to put it. You're like an amoeba in Mississippi River, and you're trying to claim what the universe is.
Yeah.
Hey, you don't even. We're not talking about like even outside the river. You know, you were claiming about the whole universe. You're amoeba right here.
Yeah, true. And you say
if you're going for objective meaning,
you have to become a little bit bigger than the little amoeba.
You at least wait. If you need to have an objective meaning, you need to know every atom. You need to understand everything about everything. Whatever that means, just like you need to understand everything about everything to make objective claims. Because, again, right, we talked about this. If there is 0.0001 small percent of information which is not given to you, as I've shown, as we've talked about on Newton and Einstein, that can change the whole...
Yeah, but no, I think it's possible that on the way you find something.
How do you know? Okay, agreed. So let's say you're trying to search for a small crystal, and you're on the beach, right? So you're searching for that small green crystal. How do you know how do you know that it is the one? So when you are on the beach and you find that green crystal, which is actually the meaning of life, right? So let's say you actually state the meaning of life. How do you know it is actually it when you did not go and the beach metaphor is bad, but you need to go and still find out the position of every atom, understand everything there is about everything to be like, okay, that small diamond, that was the meaning of life. Until there is more things to know, you cannot claim objectivity.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, but let's say our argument, for example, is wrong. Like all this base layer that we have to find out the rules of the game.
Okay.
Maybe this is wrong, and there's somebody with a better argument. And now from this we derive, we have to protect humanity, while we could actually find out that this base layer is wrong and find out that the meaning is something else. Like this would be on the way. So this would be something on the way where you discover that you would miss out if you only focus on preserving and not on searching for it. Like,
as if you aim for humanity on flourishing and simply finding out more knowledge, that knowledge obviously will be about, well, we're also trying to understand, like when you go for understanding the nature of reality, you also explore why we are here.
That's
so
essentially the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you would still find out, like, it's not that, so now we have super cool humanity which knows way more than the previous one, but they thought not to bother with the main question.
They will.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think we're actually not. Yeah. It's interesting because somehow we agree, and it's just like a little bit the.
I cannot go for objectivity.
Yeah. Okay, maybe, but okay, but I find with my argument, I find a reason for your argument.
Yeah, yes.
Like I can use my argument to understand your argument. If you say thing is, there either is something objectively meaningful or there's nothing meaningful.
Okay, yes. This is the other part of kind of my essay I would go for, is that, well, I'm not sure if you should work every waking hour, every waking minute on preserving the humanity and like flourishing, because you still might be wrong. And what should you do if you are wrong? And let's say turns out there is no game, you should have just had fun and you all wasted. Is to make sure that you also have some fun along the way, right? And thankfully enough, you live a very meaningful life if you work on something you find meaningful, and you live a great, fulfilling life.
You will have a lot of fun and fulfillment if you work on something you find meaningful.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Was it book about the stress? I forgot. The Magical Power, from a Stanford researcher about the stress.
Don't know.
How was it called? Can you look up the name of the book quickly? It's Kelly something stress book.
Kelly stress book.
Is it why
Kelly
Stress? Yes.
Something. The Upside of Stress.
Yeah, the book of Upside of Stress makes makes all the arguments for why a stressful life is actually quite likely to be a very fulfilling one. Like there's a million of scientific research made there. So, and that turns out they're all quite aligned together.
Yeah. Actually, I agree on this as well. Like my second goal, like I have like my two main goals. I have them in episode number 2. I explained them. My first one is to search for objective meaning, and the second one is to live a happy and fulfilled life, to enjoy the way, in case there is none. In case there is no game, I want to say, I had a great time. And exactly, if you have a purpose that you follow, if you are in flow, and if you are like,
you live a great life.
Then you have a great life. You don't have to chase like fun things to be happy.
Exactly. That's why I also have some hours where I dedicate to my family and friends, because like they contribute greatly to living.
At this point we took a little toilet break, so don't be confused. We start right back in.
So we were talking about that you're worried that people might focus too much on flourishing, and instead of trying to flourish the humanity, trying to find out if there is a game or not, they'll focus too much on like dopamine increase.
No, like I don't even know if I agree if dopamine
like
increase.
Pleasure increase.
Yeah, I think pleasure increase doesn't derive from this goal at all. I think like the important thing is that we have this underlying goal to find out if there's a game, and if there's a game, what are the rules of this game? Mm-hmm. And from this, all of our other actions derive. This means we should not forget this. If we say, okay, because of this, we have to promote human flourishing, that doesn't mean that human flourishing is the ultimate goal. It just means that it is
a sub-goal.
It's a means to an end for this base goal.
Yes.
And this is something we shouldn't forget, because if we overly focus on this one thing, then we might forget what we actually do it for.
Yes, I do agree with that. Fucking hell.
I can for a sec. I can give the metaphor for this, like with a, let's say, just for the argument that money is something that makes you really happy, and then you say, okay, to my goal is to be happy, and therefore I want to make a lot of money. But if you always focus on this and then forget that your actual goal was to be happy, then like maybe there's another way, except money, that is better to become happy. Even if money is good, there could be a better way, or at some point maybe there are diminishing returns or something. So you forget your actual goal and just follow another one. And this is something we have to avoid. We have to remember that the baseline is to get happy.
And we do have to remember that, but I think actually humans will be fine if they like don't really like let's say they forget or whatever. Like we tend to sometimes, some humans do that, right? I would
forget
claim,
the base goal. Yeah.
They would
All
over
the
focus
time.
on flourishing, right? Over flourishing. I would say we would still be fine because the way you flourish is by creating more knowledge and finding out more about the universe. They are interlinked. So it doesn't, so like, yeah, some guy maybe created more knowledge just because he wanted a bit more hookers in his life, but he would still help all of us to find out if there is a game or not.
Okay, true.
It doesn't hold for everything, but like, it's the connection is still there.
Explain what's your definition of human flourishing? How because you say you say your definition.
The way it's not specific, right? So I would say it's probably giving the tools and opportunity for each human. So we want to give the tools and the opportunity for the whole humanity to find out the nature of reality, right? How do you give the tools for the whole humanity? How does it look like? I would say humanity consists of humans. And if you give the opportunity and the tools for each human to like fulfill their potential, this is more subjective, but this can be just like, just give them the best tools and the best opportunity to do whatever they want to at their peak of their performance. Then you give the humanity the possibility to do the best thing they can at their peak of performance, because humanity consists of humans.
Okay. I don't know if I fully agree with this, or if this is too many steps, like without, like too high up, without, or we have to maybe talk about the arguments for why you think that this is the, like we're trying to find what is the most impactful thing we can do to, in the end, find out if there's a game or not.
No, but like if you just, what I mean is like, what does the flourishing of humanity means? It's probably like every human has a tool to understand the nature of reality, and I'm not sure about specifically that, but yeah, every human has a possibility to fulfill their potential. So I would say when someone is born and they're poor, to the extent that they cannot do the work they would love to do, and they have to do that work just to barely feed themselves, or worry too much over food, we do not give them the potential to be, we don't give them the tools or the opportunity to be the best they could, to be the best version of themselves. But this is more subjective voodoo things, you know? I think like when you look in real life, it's like a massive difference. It's like borderline obvious. Like
what do you mean?
When humanity, the difference between humanity flourishing and non-flourishing, because the rate of innovation increases so much that once we know that I don't have an argument here. I'm just trying to connect the dots, but looking backwards, forget it.
Okay. Yeah. So the thing is that we both agree on the base. So we both agree that we want to find out why is there a game, and if yes, what are the rules of the game. So let's just first principle thinking. What is the best, most impactful thing that we can do to do this? And you say it is to.
Let's just like, what would you think? No, but like, just let's at the moment, because we agreed that for us to find objective meaning, we need first to make sure that humanity doesn't die out and give them tools to understand the nature of reality. So let's just, for the sake of conversation, let's first figure out how to make sure that humanity doesn't die out in this century, and how to
Sure,
create tools for
I
that.
have another question about this, because is it we want to give humanity the tools to find out the game, or we want to get the tools to find out the game? Because is it about that humanity finds the game, or is it about that you as a person find out what the game is, or what? Like, because I'm not humanity, you know? I'm Elias, and I want to know if I have a game here to play, if there is like an objective for me to do. Like,
I definitely do think in a more collectivistic way. Like, I think of it as more like it's a game of humanity as together.
so
I would not-
humanity woke up on this in this court.
Yeah, specifically, the chord is not you waking up; it's the humanity waking up.
Why is it not you? Because
I don't know. If there is a game, I'm not sure you can play it alone and like win. You know, like, I'm not sure.
this is a feeling.
But yeah. But I still can go with your like definition, so we still can go on. So let's just like, I think a bit disagree with like who plays the game. You think it's you yourself? I would just subjectively, I would more think of it as just humanity plays the game, because we all as humans have a unique capability of like creating knowledge. But it doesn't matter. Let's just would be the
Like,
next step.
I say that I play the game. That doesn't mean that, like, that it still means that it's beneficial for me if humanity finds it out. Because
Yeah.
if humanity finds out, then I found it out. Like, it's like, it doesn't mean that I have to hide anything from humanity, but it also doesn't mean that it's not that I will, like, if I would like sacrifice my life, for example, for humanity finding out what the game is, and
Would you do that? You wouldn't, right? Because then you
I don't
don't
know.
win the game.
I don't know. If this was the only way to find out what the game is, and I know that in my life I will like.
No, but you still can go. Okay.
If I would know that there's like no other way to find it out but my sacrifice, then I would be like, yeah. In my life there is no chance for me to find it out, so I can also just give the other people the chance to find it out.
You would do it.
But in this case, is like super hypothetical. Like, if there's like no case in which one person has to sacrifice themselves to find out for all the others to know objective meaning. This is like the most random case.
But let's come back to the discussion of what is the most impactful thing we should do. What do you think is?
Like, there are like, directly working on it is an impactful thing you can do.
I mean, yeah.
Like setting this goal and trying to find out, like even with our small capacities as human, like, we still
probably have a better theory than randomly create, like how evolution does it, was random mutations and figuring out which one works. Yes.
Spend time on trying to find out what is the best next thing to do. Like, trying like exactly what we do now. Like trying to find the most impactful thing that you can do to this, because
to specifically preserve humanity and give them
to specifically find the goal, like find if there is a game, and therefore I think it's probably pretty impactful to preserve humanity, because if humanity dies, it means that I die as well. By the way, this collectivist versus individualist thing, I sometimes feel bad, like, especially like.
But I do actually kind of agree with you. Like, I mean, you are on your own. Other humans can be just like whatever. Like it's just a feeling. Like, don't worry about this.
Yeah, and also it's like, you, like, I am not humanity, you know.
I do agree with you. Absolutely. No, I agree with you. I am myself.
Yeah, I only experience myself. I don't experience humanity.
Yes.
And
so taking care of all of them is a lousy business, and that's not how you should think. I do agree. But let's come back to like, what is the most important thing?
Yeah, I think maybe building something that can create knowledge AGI. This is
Okay.
Should we shake hands again?
Yes. Like I wanted to spend next 20 minutes like explaining what is probably the most impactful thing to do.
Yeah.
But if you want to understand the nature of reality, to derive objective meaning from it, you have to either yourself or create a tool which creates knowledge. So you either by yourself try to understand everything there is in the reality, or you create a tool which helps humans to do that and helps humanity to go a long way so they can, over the time, like go over the exponential, and understand more and more things. It says AGI because AGI. So in my definition of AGI is a machine which creates knowledge, like actual scientific knowledge. Like it provides explanations and it actually works. So like it's just Einstein, but like a billion gazillion ways better, and in every part of the universe, right? If you create that machine, it can accelerate dramatically understanding of reality.
Yes.
Done.
I 100% agree.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe you should go and work for AGI.
Why don't we study CSAI?
The more I talk about this reasoning, the less I find problems with it. And for now, with everyone I talk to, they don't find. So I don't study CSAI because I went to chose my bachelor when I was 16 and a half, and I was into business. But basically right now I'm in my third year of university, and this is the last one. I was doing IBA, or International Baccalaureate Administration, and I'm basically in my second and a half year, so I have half a more year, and I was doing an internship right now. It goes great, and it's about the cryptocurrencies. I find it, and I'm probably from January, so this January till the next January, we'll do one gap year and try to study computer science and artificial intelligence. Because for now, I cannot find a thing which is more impactful, sadly.
Okay, I think there may be, and this is only actually there is not, because you say like creating AGI. You really, it's really actually it's a really good argument for that. This is the best thing you can do, trying to create AGI. But you don't have to be the person creating it.
It's very important to understand. You can go explain.
If you are, for example, you study business now, and if you are like a really good businessman, you would maybe help the development of AGI more. Absolutely. By building a business and either building a business that tries to build AGI, or building a business that has nothing to do with it and using the money that you make from it to fund AGI research.
Yes.
And this would maybe be more impactful than you yourself searching, trying to build AGI.
Yes. You create. So how do you create the most amount of positive impact? So we say positive because we specifically want to make sure that AGI is made, and it's made for the benefit of humans, right? So this is how we define positive impact. So how do you maximize this? You definitely look in your natural talents and find out what you're good at and what you deeply love doing. I would reference basically every Paul Graham essay there is. I don't know if you don't know it. I will send you, but basically this is do you know Y Combinator?
Y Combinator?
Yeah.
No. What is
okay, so you know Stripe and Coinbase and
Stripe, it's like credit card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's basically a startup company which helps startups to accelerate and get become great business. They did Airbnb.
Wait, Stripe not.
They did Stripe. So
okay.
they did
Stripe is one of the businesses that they facilitated.
So they literally start from 2 people and a pitch deck to $1 billion business, and they made it with hundreds of companies. And they're considered to be, Harvard of startups, but even better. The acceptance rate is even better. It's even less.
Lower.
Yes. So, its founder, Paul Graham, is an absolutely amazing thinker. A borderline David Deutsch. I would say they're on the same level of thinking.
Damn.
Which is, high bar.
Damn, this is a high bar.
He makes an essays which everyone considers in Silicon Valley to be the best essays he makes on startups and how to do a great startup. But he also makes on things like how to find what you love doing and why is that important, how to do great work. He basically makes an argumentation that you should first find your natural talents and then search for things you're deeply curious about and you love doing. Because if you love doing something, let's take two tennis players. One loves tennis, and one loves tennis by 1% more, just 1% more. In 10 years, the player who loves tennis just 1% more or has 1% better natural talent in playing tennis will outperform by so far the guy who doesn't, because he'll train more, because he loves like training just by 1% more over 10 years. There will be like no conversation about who's the greatest. Like it will be because it is the power law, right? Sorry, not the power law, but it is exponential, right? So it's like let's say you take 1.01 and you then put it to the power of, let's say, 30 years. 30 years multiplied by 10 years multiplied by 365 days, you get to the power of 3,650. When you do that, like the difference is so ridiculous that there is no point of discussion. So you have to find your natural talents and the thing you love doing and you're deeply curious about. So I'm probably good at speaking and like managing people, just because it's my natural talent. It's like my childhood, like like borderline my genes. So I should probably do something around this.
So you're probably not being the one sitting on the computer programming AGI?
Yeah, probably not the guy, but probably the guy who helps all those people together come and do great work.
You know that Andre has exactly this goal as well? And
Of being the guy who is...
No. Building AGI, he has two goals. Building AGI and enhancing human cognition. So not only building AGI as like a separate entity, but also making human brains better. Like
yes.
So I think this is, we can add this as well.
Yes, because when you how do you build an AGI which helps humans and actually doesn't destroy whole humanity? Neuralink can be one answer. You know it, right? So
yeah, I know it.
A chip in your brain, Elon Musk, all right, company. Probably, I don't know, maybe a solution, but you definitely need to integrate humans in it quite closely.
Yeah, also for all this knowledge has to be transferred in a way. Like, I don't know if the AGI can just like,
put out your book,
put out text, and then you're like, no, this is the meaning of life.
Right, okay, fella.
Yeah, no. So this is interesting because now we're already 3 people with this goal. This is cool. We can.
I think Kagach also deeply agrees with it.
Yeah.
Kagach deeply agrees with it.
Okay, but I have to talk more with him about this.
Yeah.
I didn't really get to the bottom of his goals. He was podcast number 1, by the way. Andre was like guest episode number 1, podcast number 4, and Andre was podcast number 6. I really recommend both of them were interesting. Andre was a nice discussion as well. Okay. So you say you're more into like speaking and stuff and managing probably.
But so I take this gap year. I probably will take this gap year to specifically find out how much I like coding, right? Because I actually tried coding. How much I like coding.
Yeah.
Because I tried coding before and I actually find it extremely satisfying.
I fucking love it. Same.
Yeah, because it's like you for 4 hours can sit in one problem and you get in the zone. You get married to the problem.
Yes.
And sometimes you go for days. That was such a fucking amazing feeling that I'm not sure I would like not do this.
I agree. Like my brain is made for something like this. I don't know. Like my math problems. Coding problems, this is like the thing that gives me like so much dopamine. Yes. It's like because you're so much in the flow, you're so focused and it feels so good to solve it. It's like so you get addicted. Yeah.
So what is now the most impactful action we should do? We both agree we should build an AGI which helps humanity in whatever, like we don't need to like specifically define it now. It helps humanity, right? What is then the most impactful thing we can do at the moment?
We also have to try to not make humanity go extinct.
But I think, yes. So what are the main reasons why humanity can go extinct?
Nuclear war.
Okay. I would
think
say
that's
it's not the most likely.
I think that's the most likely one.
one.
Well, what else?
I would say AGI is the most likely one.
Yeah, okay, stop. AGI and okay.
And I would say specifically, before that I was making a talk like a few weeks ago, explaining why I think if you work on AGI, you kind of solve any other existential problem. Because with AGI creating knowledge, it can create solutions to those problems. So you should work on AGI. So we agree on that. So what is the most impactful thing if you want to create an AGI for you at the moment? Impactful action would be?
Switching my studies to CSAI, maybe. I thought about this before I even started to study psychology because I met all those amazing people from CSAI.
Right away?
I think literally my first lecture I went to was a CSAI lecture.
You're
Not, like, I didn't
bloody
even,
lucky bastard.
What?
You're a bloody lucky bastard. It took
What?
me 1 year and a half or 2 years. It took me fucking 2 years to find all those people, and you're fucking on the first lecture.
Bro, no. I knew them even before I started to study. You know, like I there was like a boot camp during top week, and I went to this boot camp. So I met all those people before I even started to study. And like my first lecture I went to was like in the first week of my studies. My first lectures were all CSII lectures, and then I started to go to the psychology lectures as well. So because you're
What was
allowed
your
to-
boot camp?
Hmm?
What was your boot camp?
This bootcamp was from Enigma. It was like Enigma is a study association of CSII. CSII, by the way, means cognitive science and artificial intelligence. It's something you can study, and really cool people study it.
On average, the people who study CSAI are, not to hurt anyone, probably more interesting and insightful than from other.
They are the most interesting and insightful people I met. Like
On average, there is a higher % chance that you find interesting, insightful people there.
I think it's the group where, like, for real, in my life, it's just the group where I have the highest likelihood to find interesting people till
Yes.
now that I found. This is the thing I'm actually thinking about switching, and now I also have another really good argument for switching.
Yes.
Yeah.
But do you think, out of all possible actions in the
This is
world,
the most impactful thing.
you think that?
I don't know. Maybe it would be more impactful to try. Like, I think like this podcast is a try to find a really high impact thing, because if I can manage to get this podcast really big and to build like a platform, then at one hand I have money to support research. On the other hand, I have social impact. Like I can, like for example, if this podcast would be really good and we make this episode, like if this podcast would be really, really big and we make this episode and suddenly 100 other people are like, oh, working on AGI is actually a good thing. And then this would be like, holy shit, amazing, big impact. Also, gather people, like if you have this podcast, you can make people know of what your what your mission is, and people that have the same mission can find you, and you can build a tribe.
Yes, I absolutely agree with the tribe part. Like I think it's very important. That's why I'm thinking of like, making a website and like putting some essays there, on which I work really well, and try to make some trendless essays which can be read in 10 years and it would still be valuable. But out of all the actions in the world, I think you should first start with identifying your natural talents and actually finding out what are you like naturally good at, and then finding out what you love doing. And those both goals are kind of the same. And this comes specifically from Paul Graham's essays. I will send you some. And we should put them in the show notes. We should have like a lot of lists, a lot of things in the show notes.
I write it down.
Write it down.
Paul, what?
Paul, and then Graham.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
we'll
so
put David Deutsch as well.
Yeah. Figure out the show notes.
Yeah.
Okay, so those two goals are kind of interlined with the same goal of trying to understand yourself better.
Okay, I actually feel like, I already did a lot of work on this.
Okay. Would you say you kind of have a really good hinge for what might be your natural talents? Like I definitely in the past 3 months have so much better hinge than I was 3 months before that it's ridiculous. Just because you think about it in the background.
Natural talents. Yeah, natural talents and passions. Like, I have lists. I didn't look on them for a long time, so I don't know if I even find them in my note-taking system in this podcast. But I don't have to look at them. It's like this programming thing is one thing on my list for sure, because this is just. I don't think that I'm the smartest. I know that there are people that are like super high IQ that are like made for programming. And
I don't believe in that, by the way. Like I think about it a bit differently, but
yeah, but I know that I'm still way high in their percentage. Like I'm not in the lower. I'm still and it's also something that gives me immense pleasure.
Yes.
So this is something for sure. What is another? It sounds weird, but I don't know if I can say. I will just say it.
Come on, say just jerking off.
No. I have a really not a hard time making people like me, not in a way that it's like a conscious like I don't even to try that hard. Like for example, my bicycle tour, like. Maybe it's not. This is weird. I don't know. This was just a thought. Maybe it's
cut it after.
maybe it's a strength. Yeah, maybe it's cool. I just put the mindset in that I cut it out, and then I can talk more freely. And maybe I'll not cut it out.
just say it.
Okay. So I don't know. Making people. There are no people. Okay, I think this is it. There are no people. Maybe now there are, if I say the sentence, but there are no people that don't like me.
Yes,
there are no people that I don't like. Like actually, like I'm.
There are no people that you don't like.
I'm a really. I don't have like. There are so many people that say, "Oh, I hate this person," or like that are like gossiping and stuff. This is so far from. I feel deep discomfort when gossiping because.
But then you don't like the guy who's gossiping.
No.
You still like them?
No. This is a. I think I don't really judge that much because I think okay the person gossiping.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's a.
You're just not your vibe. Okay.
Yeah. It also the person that is gossiping has probably never learned. Or has like insecurity themselves, and like you're gossiping for a reason, and it's like
probably not, insecurity yourself. I can tell it from myself.
Exactly, insecurities and stuff. So I don't dislike the person gossiping for like maybe I would say okay I don't want to spend time with the person always gossiping because it doesn't add any value for me and
it affects who you are.
It takes me down.
Yes,
but still I can't say that I really like. You have to imagine I am the person with the most like if you have like a
come on just
like
hit it already.
If you have like a book and there's like and you write a story of like the I don't have like every person has like a package to carry, you know? Every person has like a trauma. Mm-hmm. Every person has like a thing from their past, and I don't. I've never been bullied. My parents are amazing.
So what is natural talent? What are you going for?
I don't know. This is,
okay. Yes.
No,
yes.
This is just something. I think this is something that is really rare.
Yes. And you should.
And maybe you can do something with it. I don't know. This is something rare that you can maybe use.
Amazing.
I don't know if this is.
So okay, this is very important to capture.
So no trauma. Maybe you can put.
Yes. Yes. This is a very important thing.
Yeah.
So when you go for impactful things, you're trying to differentiate specifically because the person who is different from the competition can have an extremely different results. So let's say we take 1,000 people who are like, working in this top 4 audit companies. No matter how good they job do on those, I don't know, some like lower accountant or like lower whatever, no matter how good they job do, there is a limited amount of like output they can have. Like they still will have probably a low career, like a slow career. Though, no matter how good you work, you probably in 2 years can be this one, and in another 2 years you can be this guy, and in another 5 years you can be this guy. But you cannot, no matter how good job you do, come to like the main guy on top straight away. So they're very perfect. It's a perfect competition because no one has an advantage, a unique advantage to themselves. So you can think of farmers, a better metaphor. Farming market is a perfect competition market. This is a business terminology, but basically no farmer has a unique advantage over the other one. So they all
just work, you put it work.
Exactly. So like none of them has a better like machinery, has a better like fertilizers or soil. They all, no matter what job they do, pretty much get the same output. Like the difference is in super minor margins. So they cannot really improve. You want to escape those perfect competitions as much as possible. For the viewer, it would be a Peter Thiel, either Y Combinator lecture or his book 0 to 1. He specifically just argues 0 to 1. Yeah.
Peter Thiel.
Yeah.
Thiel 0 to 1.
Yeah. So he specifically argues that if you want to maximize the amount of impact, you need to go for differentiation, for your unique competitive advantage. The other book would be 7 Powers of 7 Powers, it's called, but this is about a book about business strategy. And basically the author claims that the best businesses are the ones that have a unique competitive advantage, which others cannot have. So a unique moat around the castle. So for instance, it can be brand. Apple has a unique brand which no one else has. Like you cannot buy brands Apple. You would have to buy, I guess, whole Apple, right? So a brand of Apple is a unique advantage point which you have, which allows them to have a way better economical results. So they can charge slightly higher prices, get better margins, etc., etc., etc. So, or let's say with Facebook, right? Or when it started, right? The more people use the platform, the more useful it is for others. And when you are a new kid on the block, you cannot get all those people to use your platform because like
they're already all on Facebook. Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah. It's you cannot buy this advantage. Let's put it this way. It's something very unique to that specific company, right? So you need to look at those advantages in the person to have a differentiating output. Like you cannot expect to do the same as everyone else does and have a way better results. That's again borderline ridiculous.
Yeah, and that's why if I would do programming, I would not make much bigger impact than another programmer.
Specifically.
Yeah.
If you just do what everyone else does, do the same exercises, go for the same bachelor, don't differentiate meaningfully, I would not expect you to meaningfully differentiate. Like it's a bad bet to make. So you need to look for differentiating things that you have that no one else has. So let's so a few examples can be. So a trauma can be a differentiating factor, or like absence of it, right? Probably. I'm not sure how ideal this. This is question I think about a lot. Like what are unique differentiating competitive advantages that I have as a human, which no one else has? So I think Sam Altman made an essay also about this. It's quite a good one. He talks about how to like be successful, but this is basically like finding out what are your competitive advantages. So he was talking about, let's say, network. Like you know some people that other people don't know, and you have a unique advantage over them. And like so you need to have a great network, like a network of people. He makes several of those. Like for instance, if I always, whenever I give my word to someone, actually do the shit, this is a brand, and I have a unique advantage over a guy who like no one knows and he says, yeah, I'll do this. Like if everyone knows that I never break my promise and I never lie, I have a very strong brand and people will work with me. Same goes for Warren Buffett. People do deals with him like just because they really trust him, and he knows, and he showed over the decades that he takes interest of others very seriously. So this is a differentiating factor which allows him to be Warren Buffett. What you need to do as an individual is to escape the competition. to go not from 1 to n, but to go from 0 to 1. Oh, okay, this is actually bullshit, forget it, but this is the premise of the book. Just forget it. But Peter basically says that you should not go for, so the great companies are the ones which are like borderline monopolies because they go from not having something to creating one of it, so from 0 to 1. And the bad companies are the ones which are trying to replicate that one thousands of times. So let's say a Google, so there were other like search engines, but Google has a unique specific way like to have a search engine which is better than others. Like there is some algorithm which made it like a meaningful difference that it became one. But trying now to create a search engine is ridiculous. Like you're not going to make money.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not sure. That's like
depends, but
yeah. I'm not giving the
largely it's
best.
true.
I'm not giving the best example, guys.
But
Just
I
go read
understand.
the
I
book.
understand what you mean.
Yes.
Mm.
So you should. I'm not sure if the most impactful thing is to go and switch to CSAI, because then you are still those 500,000 people who do CSAI. You should do something that no one else does, which is like helps also, right? Because then when you, so why would I really like this gap year idea? Because then I can go for gap year. So no one takes a gap year. So the premise of my gap year can, I'm thinking about, if you know guys, Scott Young, he basically did MIT computer science bachelor, which is 4 years. He just took all the online courses and finished them in 1 year. Yeah. Just finished. He's a journalist, so he didn't go on further, but he finished it in 1 year on his own, right? No one else in the world really does that thing. He's one person who did that. Maybe there are 10 more who did this, but there are no thousands or millions who did Harvard or computer science. So when I go and do, let's say, this gap year and just do online courses and finish some computer science bachelor, which takes 4 years on my own in 1 year, I have a differentiating factor.
Extremely. Even if this computer science thing wouldn't really matter to your employer, the fact that you did it out of your own motivation within 1 year means that you're fucking valuable. Because
it at least, if you're trying to land a job, it at least lands you a job because you do not look like the other same hundreds of applicants.
Yeah.
You need to escape the perfect competition everyone has and create a monopoly, which is based on unique differentiating competitive advantages. Like Apple has a borderline monopoly in technology in the United States. Everyone uses Apple. Google has a monopoly, like a monopoly in search engine.
yeah,
And they do this for unique competitive advantages and not doing as everyone else does.
this is such a good way to think about it. This is such a big difference if you make it is also $100 million offers, Alex Hormozy.
Mm-hmm.
This is mainly a book about getting rich. I really recommend it, but it's really good. So he also says, like, if you want to make money, you don't want to fight against, like, you don't want to have the same offer like anyone else and try to beat them like in price, like in a minor improvement. You try to build like an entirely new offer that can't be compared. Like
Exactly,
you
that
don't
can't be compared.
Yeah, exactly. You
Yes.
don't want to be you don't want the others to be able to compare you to the competition.
Yes. So when on my CV I have a note saying, oh, for 1 year I took a gap year and did a computer science bachelor.
Yes.
Like there is no point of comparisons. Like they don't know. So is this guy like 2 times smarter than the average guy, or is it 20 times smarter? Like they have no idea because they never met a guy who had made a gap year and made a bachelor.
Yeah. A short question in between. How do you want to prove that you did this?
I think it's not that hard actually, because so there are not only exams. So I'm not sure if I want to do specifically exams which are online, because I'm not sure you actually get the knowledge, because I want to specifically create AGI and not look like I'm super smart guy.
Yeah.
So I think you go for interesting projects. This is something Paul Graham talks more about. But how do you prove this is, I mean, we just can have, let's say, if you know Coursera or EDX, they give you certificates. And I mean, obviously, you can be that guy who like just finds out online answers to it, right? And then just puts it and gets all those certificates. But I think when people meet you, they'll be like, yeah, okay, he did it. Like, no, why would he? Why would he for 1 year do something bullshit like that?
Yeah. Okay, true.
It's not that like when I say, oh yeah, I study in Tilburg University, my employer was like, so show me a fucking proof, a physical proof. Like, people have at least a borderline trust, and if they want to go deep more,
Yeah. Yeah. Also, people like it comes back to you if you lie. Like
you cannot build long-term things.
Yeah,
with
they
lies.
will
It's
they will
ridiculous.
find out over time.
Yeah.
Okay, so find something that makes you stand out, or that makes find a unique way to make
To stand out.
to no. Also, it's not about standing out, but it's a unique contribution that others don't make. Like find a gap where something is missing.
Yes.
Not do the same that everyone does, but find like a problem that people really need. Like it's something that is important to the problem of solving AGI.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, and going into this filling a gap that isn't filled yet.
Kind of thinking from first principles. Like if a person was not bounded by some bullshit, social pressures, and he was actually trying to create an AGI, what would he do? Right? And this already puts you in doing things in a distinct way. Because the average path does not really make sense in first principles, right? But it's also something Elon Musk really proposed of like first principle thinking, but specifically making a meaningful differentiation. Like you can dress up like a clown and you differentiate from the crowd, but this is not a meaningful one.
Yeah, a differentiation that makes you make more impact on the goal. Yeah. Yeah, because if you just look like a clown, it doesn't mean that you advance AGI.
Yeah.
You just look like a clown.
You just look like a clown.
Okay. So this is how you want to do it. I don't know if I can now give an answer on how I want to, on how I will find this special angle that I want to attack.
Yeah.
I know that I'm really able to work.
Man, imagine we do this together. That would be crazy.
What?
Imagine doing this together. That would be fucking crazy. But it is specifically.
Bro, we have to move in together. Andrew will also try.
Andrew, yeah. But I'm very interested. Like I try to specifically go for things I'm curious about. So the program probably would be very different. And I'm thinking of doing the projects again. Paul Graham really talks about like. Should do projects and things that are curious to you. So I'm not sure how the structure will be yet.
Yeah. Okay, so not going through courses, but actually having a problem and trying to solve it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So not I really agree with this. This is something I argue with Andre all the time because like I understand his point, but I also say like the best.
It's not the first. It's probably not the first principle best action to do.
To try to solve a problem?
No, to do what go through a usual academic
exactly.
stuff.
And I see he has good arguments for it.
Yes,
we don't have to go through them now, but it's like if you have an exact problem you work on and this problem already makes progress on your goal, and on the way of solving this problem you learn a lot, and by solving this problem you increase your CV because you also have you can tell people now, hey, I already solved this. This is so much impact at once.
Yes.
This is so much more impact than just going into
You also create, if you publish this, you create kind of a small tribe around you because you do that one specific thing you're curious about, and you'll gather around specific type of curious people around you. Other thing is that you learn to do things. I think academia doesn't really teach you to do things and do projects. It teaches you to pass exam. When you focus on exams, you'll learn how to pass exams. You won't learn how to do projects. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I think I don't actually. I still don't know exactly what my step is, but I agree, and especially the idea of having new goals and having different differentiators, like filling the gaps. And not
So what would be probably your action? And I'm still in that phase as well. So you have to, what Paul Graham says, none of them is my thinking. I just agree with the guy. He said that you should create hypothesis of what jobs you might love. So we're specifically trying to find the job that you would love. So it's like you would be able to do it for 80 years till the rest of your days. This is specifically what we're going at. Because if you want to maximize the impact, you're going for specifically that type of job. So you're like, okay, can I do this like till the end of my days? Can I imagine myself and it will be fine? If yes, then this is the right one. If no, then you should continue searching. And what he says is you should create hypotheses. So let's say I am a talkative guy and I like to talk to people, and let's just keep it there. I was interested in crypto, and I still am. I think it's a revolutionary technology as well. I'm not sure if it's impactful as AI is, AGI right now. So I'm just still exploring the reasoning. And I was also a very talkative guy, so I thought maybe crypto and sales together is something that makes sense to go and test out. So now I work in crypto and I work in sales, right? So I test the hypothesis. Do I like this? Do I not like this? How I feel about this? Can I do this through the rest of my day so I can become the best person in the world? Is crypto an industry I want to work till the rest of my days? And I'm still in the hypothesis, I'm still trying to answer the questions. But for now, my reasoning is like probably AGI is more impactful, but I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. But you go now, you create hypotheses. So you look at your natural talents, you look at things that you loved as a kid. I also looked at that, I think, which is very impactful. So try to understand yourself better. And then from natural hypothesis, from natural talents, derive hypothesis of like what jobs you might like to do. And then go and test them. There is no better way. Like you have to go and actually do the job. If you want to be a programmer, you don't, actually I don't know about programmer, but if you want to be a janitor, you have to go and do janitor things. Like you don't need to learn to go and read a book for 2 years of how to be a janitor, or like many books of how to be a janitor. Go and be the janitor.
Yeah. Okay. Should I just, because I actually like as you may know, I had like 3 gap years between I started to study.
Holy shit, right? You're more gap years.
So in the first year, I tried traveling. Mm-hmm. Not the thing I want to do with my life. Like I didn't have the impactful, like I didn't have like this goal. I just tried to find the thing I want to do with my life.
Yes.
Like traveling, nice, but no meaning behind it. Yes. Like meaningless. So
you need to find a thing that you love doing, you are ready to do for your whole life, and you respect people who do this. You admire them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Second year, I tried to work in an orphanage.
Yes.
Do something good for the world. Spend time with like kids and like a little bit older, like good for my talents. The thing I thought I liked actually fits my talents pretty good, I think. But
as a person without traumas, yes. This is people who should work in orphanage.
But not the thing I love doing, and the thing I see myself doing for the rest of like exactly this. It's not the thing I see myself doing for the rest of my life. So it was out. So then I discovered this note-taking system. I discovered researching. Yes. I discovered I have an immense passion for growth. I love the feeling of understanding something. I love the feeling of like growing in any way. This is basically it. And I'm ready to learn whatever, and that is impactful as long as I grow, and as long as I see a purpose in it. And I also have the ability to not be, if I see a purpose in something, I'm ready to do it. It's not that I...
Yeah, but you still need to love it internally, right? So it's a relatively like important part.
Yeah.
Like you still have to have emotional, because the guy who loves it will be better at this.
But if it's the most impactful thing I can do, then I should do something I love.
It will still be.
Okay, imagine. Of course, the guy that loves tennis 1% more will be the better tennis player. But this tennis player that loves the 1% less may still be a better tennis player than if he would go and play golf. If he would go play golf because he loves golf a little bit more. But
he specifically needs to find that one thing he's ready to do for his rest of his life, most of his hours.
Yeah, but let's say he likes golf a little bit more, but like tennis is much more aligned with his goal than golf. Then
was his natural talents?
No. His natural talents are pretty much the same between both, but his love is for golf and tennis. He likes it as well, but not as much.
Okay.
So, but his goal is much more aligned with tennis than with like his purpose. Then he should still play tennis, even if he's not the.
So how I think about this?
Like just because you love traveling,
Yes.
it doesn't mean that traveling
Yes.
makes any progress towards AGI.
Yes. So how I think about this, it's definitely also on the borders of my thinking at the moment. You can, so for me it would be, let's say, you can work for crypto and you can work for AI or AGI, right? In both cases, you can still do the job that you love doing. It's just the industry difference. Like I can still be the guy who manages people or who is super into coding in both of the industries. So the industry should be the one that you find meaningful, maybe. For now, what I think. But the job you love to do will probably, the industry will still give you the ability to do the job that you love to do the most. And that you have natural talents for.
Okay, so the industry, choose the right industry. Like the industry should be impactful, and inside this industry, you choose the thing you love doing.
Yes.
Okay. So choose your goal, and from all the things that impact this goal, choose the thing you love most. Don't choose the thing you love without connecting it to the goal. Like first look at, okay, my goal is to build AGI.
Mm-hmm.
What are all the pieces in the pipeline that are needed to build AGI? And from all those pieces, I can choose the one that I love most, the one that I can see myself most.
Yes, because at the end of the day, you will be that ideal jigsaw that fits ideally in the puzzle.
Like a mixture of passion and talent.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just an idea what I can do, what I forgot to do. Shit. Okay. This is a really interesting way of thinking about it.
But you also, what I love in this reasoning is that what if there is no game? This is the best way to live a life.
Yes.
To find something that you love to do, that you find is meaningful, even though it might not be, and spend your whole life doing it.
Argument number 1, episode number 2. Yes, this is it's like part 3, part 4 of argument number 1 in episode number 2. It's that you have, if you want to live a happy life, if you want to live a fulfilled life, you have to choose a dragon. Like even if there is no objective dragon that you should fight, just choose one.
You have to have a mission.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger talks about it a lot. Like the people who have a mission, they just go and do the things which are done for their mission. And the past ways I look at myself, how I behave, if I don't have the mission, it's not going to end well. I need to have a mission.
Yeah.
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 By the way, that was relatively close to the criticism. Like why if I would kind of like counter argument for the podcast is that there is no differentiating value. There is no unique thing you bring to the table. I think at the moment.
Yeah.
So like you look at founders, the podcast founders. If you are here, you don't listen to podcast founders. The second you finish, go listen to podcast of founders. The guy reads the book biography every week for the past 2 years and makes a podcast on them. He has read more than 300 biographies. He probably knows more about great people than anyone in the world. He makes a podcast. Like there is no other guy who does that. Same for Huberman, right? He's the leading. Yeah, you get it.
Yeah, and I tried. Like, I don't know how much. Like, if you try to become the philosophical counterpart of this, of Huberman, like the one that is more. Like my goal is to find the best possible way to live and to find the most optimal way to do this. The best possible goals to have, like the best possible way to live. This is actually the goal. So possible goals and the best possible way to do this.
Yes. How would you have a better product than like any other guy who does philosophy? Like maybe you like read by far more information than anyone else. this can be kind of a competitive advantage or a moat around your podcast. Probably there should be more because it's very hard also.
What is
unique value proposition?
What is the unique value proposition of Andrew Huberman?
I think he's the leading neuroscientist in the world, and he's one of the best educators in the world. So he is at the frontier of science and neuroscience, and he's at the frontier of educators. So he is both one of the best person in the world for these two. He might not be the best educator in the world, nor the best neuroscience in the world. He might be in top 5%, both of them. But when you combine them together in the Venn diagram, you get 0, 0, 1%, 25. 0, 0,
okay. So I would have tried to become one of the best
It's very hard. Yeah,
philosophers in the world, and good podcaster as well.
The best the best educator. So especially, this is very important. When you're trying to go for a differentiating factor, it's very, very hard to be the best in the world at one thing. I think Tim Ferriss talks about it a lot. It's very hard to be the best basketball player in the world. I'm not even talking about the history. But you can be the best, I don't know, you can go, there can be a few dumb explanations, but you can be the best So you need to narrow down the things that you are the best in the world until you find one, right? So you can be a basketball player in your town of your age, or playing for this team or whatever, right? I mean, this is a ridiculous one, but Tim Ferriss, let's say, he's not the best venture capitalism, nor he's the best writer, nor he's the best podcaster or whatever in the world. When you collect those together, all three of them, you get very unique.
But if you say it like this, everyone is unique. Everyone is in this. For the basketball example.
Exactly. It should be a meaningful.
Because this is not
basketball is ridiculous.
I'm the best in my town. This is not.
Yes. So for instance, I can be a guy who is generally in top 5% of coding and programming. I'm not sure how much I love doing this, and also when you start at 19, it's super late. So we'll see how it goes. But I probably can get to one top 5% of the world, right? The further you want to go, the harder it gets, right?
Yeah.
But I'm also relatively really good with talking and managing just by my nature. If I combine those together, there are 10 people like this. That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you add unique networking and unique brand of being the guy who, let's say, never lies, who always keeps his promise, who always cares for others. You have just one person in the world who is like this. And you get people like Sam Altman, let's say, who has, even taking the part of the all OpenAI drama, and he just has such a unique value proposition that then they're trying to find another CEO for OpenAI. No one fucking fits. No one makes more sense. He's an amazing manager, an amazing operator. He also has one of the best networks in Silicon Valley. He is a very trusted person in the Silicon Valley, and he understands AGI and AI really well to the frontier of everyone else. There's no other man to go for.
No, okay. I love growth and I love understanding things, but it's connected. The overall word, I think the
growth it means understanding for you, equals understanding.
It does no. It also growth means improving, improving towards my goals. If I have the goal of being as healthy as possible, and the thing that I truly love is having those aha moments.
Yes, I love them. Holy shit! I live for them.
Yeah, exactly. This is the moment where you suddenly understand something. This is it's really hard to have them continuously, but sometimes you have them and then it's all worth it. All the research.
So from as far as I know you, you seem like a great person to probably maybe do something around research. Because you love your note-taking system so much.
Yeah.
You just get joy from working on it. Maybe you should be a scientist or do something research-wise, right? I'm not sure that the most traditional path of scientist is the most impactful one, but maybe the guy who does the research is relatively a good fit for you, but I'm not sure because I don't know you that well.
Maybe you're right.
Let's do it for each other. So we first do for you, then you do for me. Because from the observers, you better can understand what are the kind of different things they have about them.
The problem with this is that you lose a lot of autonomy if you want to be the researcher. Like what exactly would the thing be that I'm researching on? You know, it's like I would love to read all the philosophy books in the world, you know, and like really try to understand them. And but there's no, or maybe also the thing is, if this is not differentiating factor being a researcher, because there are so many. Like, I don't think that I'm that different if I decide to be.
You let's say you can be already in the top 5% if you just love what you do already, like nearly instantly.
And also I have a note-taking system.
Yeah, so I think you get into top 3%.
Yeah.
Right. Then it comes a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
But then why would we stop on just researcher? It's just one of the things you enjoy and you're really into.
It's 100% in.
Okay.
I keep it in.
Yeah, it's literally like a natural talent / passion.
Let's put it in as one of the things. Yeah.
Then just go and think of more things like this.
Okay. Researching aha moments. I actually don't know.
It's a very hard question. I think about them for months.
Yeah. What did you find for you?
It seems like I'm just good at managing people. My dad is kind of like a guy, like managing guy, and I'm the oldest brother, so I'm relatively good with just like, you know, managing people, like not in the totalitarian way, but just in a nice one. Like even my sister would say how she is relatively a shy person. She doesn't like, you know, the attention, but she would still have such a strong gene of my father and maybe my mother that like she's now 14 and they would be on a summer camp and she's a shy girl. She would be the best leader in the camp. So like everyone would say, let's make Masha the captain because she's so good and she's, you know, just a shy girl. Doesn't give a fuck about all this, you know, organizing. But then I see her in her like, yeah, she nails it. And I definitely can see it in myself, like especially when I played football for so long. I played football for 10 years and like I would be the guy who's screaming, go there, do this. And like, you know, it helps, right? You need to learn how to be a good manager, but it can help. So probably this. And I like this, right? The other thing lately I saw is being good at talking to people. I wasn't great at this, but I think I'm not sure this conversation would be, let's say, the best example of the skills, but I think I can get to great topics to talk about, vulnerable topics to talk about.
Got one for me, yeah.
With other people. You also have one?
Yeah, but you can keep going. Wait.
Yeah, go on. Don't worry.
I can say it for a second and then you keep going.
Yeah.
The thing for me, making people
feel heard.
No, but making people trust me.
Yes.
This is like I can build strong, deep relationships. Like I think this is the thing I try to say when I say like this weird sentence. This is like that. Because this is also the thing, because I don't have this package to carry, I can open up to you so fast. I can be like, hey, I don't really know you, but I can tell you my whole life story because I'm not afraid to be heard, that you heard me, because I'm so I'm really secure in my position, so I can open up to people.
Yeah. But it's also it's not that like when you talk about some deep hurtful things, I think you might be opening up kind of a bit better. Because then people are like, oh yeah, he's sharing a vulnerable thing, so they have to share a vulnerable thing. Yeah. But I get what you mean. You're good.
That's different. Like you can still open up this. You can still open up. I can be really honest without saying, without having like a big hurtful trauma, you can still be super honest and super open, and people see this. And when people see you being open, they're also really open.
Yes, and I think this is kind of a natural talent or just a very useful skill.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Okay, so yeah.
As I was talking to my mom, she said that I was really into like building Legos.
Wait, stop. You are, your first one was managing people. Your second one was talking to people.
Yeah, just having conversations with people.
But what does it mean? What is?
I'm good with communication with people, so I can either talk publicly relatively well. I think. Like I have for public speaking. Like if I have natural talents or something, public speaking is very easy for me.
Okay,
it's my natural talent.
I found another one as well.
Yeah,
I can do. I have no.
You can.
I can talk to everyone.
Exactly. Yes. You can ask. This is your superpower.
Yes.
Was the when you went to the Scandinavian and you just ask people for things. Like you just like, hey, can you let me sleep in your house?
Yeah.
This is a superpower. I really want that superpower. It's a very important one. It is very important.
In my life, I think I hitchhiked more than 10,000 kilometers. Like for like 10,000 kilometers. Like I don't even think for like when I'm at the parking spot, like I don't even think for a second before I go approach a person and ask them if I can drive with them. Like other people are like overthinking, what is he gonna think? Is this right? No,
I want that superpower. I really want that. Steve Jobs literally said that one of his best superpowers was that he could just go and ask people, and he never met a person who would say no to him and help.
Yes, same.
This is a superpower. Same. I really want that. I'm trying to get it.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is a superpower. This is a natural talent, but very important.
Yeah.
So I'm just good at public and personal talking. At I think managing the motivations of people, like just good emotional intelligence, so EQ. The other thing probably would be my mom said I was super into building Legos, and I forgot completely. I was obsessed with building Lego, and I think it was uninterrupted work bouts where I just would dive in and build something. I think it was mostly because it was physical, but I would build something beautiful. And I would stay for hours uninterrupted. No one could touch me. I would be a relatively very high ADHD person. I was not, I don't think I have I forgot how it's called, like a diagnosis. I don't have one. But I was a very active kid. And then I could go and sit for hours and build that Lego set. Like I remember I would have a very big Star Wars Lego set. It ended.
Yeah, the camera.
But we can go on, right?
Yeah, we can. Now you don't have.
It's fine.
Video.
I had this very big Star Wars Lego set, which is like a very big starship. And I would go, and out of being extremely active, annoying kid, I would go and for hours until I finished that motherfucking ship, you could not touch me. Like, fuck off. Probably I'm into delving into some deep problems and building something. And with my small coding experience, when I was doing it for myself, it felt an immense joy. Maybe something like this. I had more. I had to pull up my laptop, but it's fine.
No, it's okay. And it's really cool that when you say your things, I get ideas as well. Because, yeah. This is...
If you want to find things that you love, you probably have to read a book called A Job to Love. It's by the School of Life as an offer. You need to read a few essays of Paul Graham. I'll put them in the show notes. What other thing I found important? Yeah, I think these were kind of really important steps. Try to things that you enjoyed in your childhood a lot, and you just enjoyed it for the sake of it. Because but when you're a child, you don't care about the status, how important something is. You just care about just the thing.
Yeah. Bro, let's wrap the podcast up here. And
I think it's a good place.
Yeah, it's a good point. We're gonna do this more often, like, because
I'm not sure I have more knowledge to share.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we went pretty deep.
Yes.
And we pretty much merged our meaning of lives. I
had the Kama Sutra.
nearly. Not on a video in the break, So yeah, maybe we'll do this again. Maybe
Cheers,
not.
guys.
But
Go do great things.
And look in the show notes. There are really nice things in there. This has been a Rational Optimization podcast. I hope you learned something.
See you in the next one.